How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the Totaku Artorias figure. So taking a closer look at his face, although most of his face is covered by the armor and his cloth, it's still really nicely sculpted for the most part. You can see all the detailing in his helmet. It's nicely sculpted with all the intricate lines. And then there's a nice wash to really bring out the sculpt as well. And then it continues to this hair part. Again, really nicely sculpted, and it flows really well around the rest of his body. And it has a lot of flowing motion to it. And you can see all the strands of the hair and texture. So it looks really nice. Then you move down to the actual cloak, really well sculpted. There's just a lot of detail going on. You can see all the texturing, all the folds, all the ripped ends, and then all the kind of leftover armor parts. It's really well sculpted, and that continues onto the back as well. And then you have lighter areas of blue to really give it some depth and detail. And then there's even like a black wash throughout the whole cloak to really give it more depth and bring out the sculpt. The armor on his arm is really nicely sculpted. You can see all the different layers, and it's all separated by the nice black wash. And then the actual sword is really nicely sculpted as well. It's just a lot of detail going on. Has a really nice rusted metallic effect to it. And then there's even like a darker blue metallic paint to really make the blade shine. And although it's quite a thick piece, it's actually kind of soft as well, so you don't have to worry too much about that breaking. Moving to his other arm, the shoulder pad has a lot of detail going on. Nice wash to bring out the details. And that travels all the way down to his arm. And then the actual armor he's wearing, really nicely sculpted and detailed. You can see all the washes in between the plates of the armor. And then you move to his chainmail. Again, just so much texture and detail. Then you have the side armor parts. It's just so much detail going on. And although it's mainly all silver, the nice use of the black wash really does separate each part, so it doesn't make it too complicated to look at. Then you have his legs, really nicely sculpted, and then the wash continues throughout them as well. And then finally, it ends off with his blue cloak, and like the cloak on the top, has nice weathering and texturing detail. And that even continues to the underside as well. And then the stand, it's quite a basic stand, just a stone bricked floor, but it does have a nice wash, so it's really nicely detailed. And in the bottom, you just have some legal stuff. So overall, I'd really want to say that this is one of the best, if not probably the best looking Totaku figure. There's just so much detail going on in such a small figure. It just has a really amazing sculpt, really nice wash throughout the whole figure to really give it that worn out and weared rusty look. And then there's nice use of the metallic silver and metallic blues on the armor and sword. And then the pose itself is just really dynamic and really accurate to the character. But I really want to say it's the best Totaku figure, but the major thing that really lets this figure down is his legs. And because they're so thin and it's supporting quite a large bulk of the figure, this figure over time does bend forward. So you can already see it starting to bend forward. And throughout this review, I've had to constantly hold him down like so, because if not, he would bend all the way down like this. And that's because his legs are so thin, and because for whatever reason the creators went with soft plastic for his legs, so they can easily bend forward So that's just, I don't know if that's really acceptable, really, because I mean, it just lets this whole figure down so much. It would have been nice maybe if his legs were actually made from die cast, but I understand that would actually increase the cost of the figure. So instead of that, maybe they could have had something here to permanently hold the cloak down to the stand, because then it wouldn't face the problem. But as it is now, expect this figure to completely fall all the way down when you display him. So that's a really major gripe I have with this figure. And it's such a shame because this is such an amazing looking figure, and it's just unfortunately let down by its really weak legs. So that's pretty much my main reason why I say I really would like this to be probably the best Totaku figure, but it's just severely let down by this major flaw in his leg design. And despite that, if you are a fan of this character or the game, I can still kind of recommend this figure, but just be prepared to face this eventual situation with the figure. If you can find some way to permanently keep the figure upright like this, then I would recommend to do so. But as it is now, just be prepared to face this unfortunate outcome with the figure. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.